Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing an extra special reading, and this is all to do with your Lightworker abilities. So we're going to be looking at Lightworker abilities in the context of the Care Bears, which was one of my favorite shows as a kid, and I'm not going to lie, I still watch the new reboot version of it to this day. I'm also wearing my Care Bears shirt, as you can see, even though they are different Care Bears than the ones that we're doing in this reading. And if you like this reading, then I will be happy to do more Care Bear Lightworker abilities. So you can use the Care Bears that you see here before you. We have Bright Heart, Funshine Bear, and Share Bear. And if you prefer to pick with the cards, we do have those here as well, each one corresponding to your given Care Bear or Care Bear cousin. So make a selection and use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comments below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right, hi group number 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose Bright Heart and this pile, then this is going to be your Lightworker abilities reading. So we have the Oracle cards here, then we're going to pull clarifiers from the Rainbow Tarot. Obviously I had to choose the Rainbow Tarot for this because Care Bears are all about rainbows and they live up in the clouds. So let's take a look at what you have. You have the Hermit card starting off your reading. So seeking solitude to focus intently on inner life and serves personal creativity. We're only going to focus on the light attributes because these are Lightworker abilities. Okay. You have takes charge of the situation, Moses. Nurture, Archangel Gabriel. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. You have Fatima, the mother of Imams. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. And you have reward yourself. You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. So pile number 1, the first thing that I want to note is the abilities of your chosen Care Bear. In this case, a Care Bear cousin. So this is Bright Heart, and his abilities are creativity and brightness. So he's able to give anyone a boost of brain power. He's able to unlock any kind of idea within their minds. His belly badge also is able to act as a light for anyone with him. So those are the qualities of Bright Heart, and I'm seeing some of that in your reading here, but it's tempered with some other things. So the Hermit card is about the inner world, and so it's the time and solitude that you take for yourself to be able to connect with your own internal light. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Now you also have take charge of the situation, so it's almost like you're able to go inward and then come out really, really powerful with what you've learned, with those bright ideas, those epiphanies, or that self-awareness that you're cultivating and developing. The Hermit is also in the traditional tarot seen holding a lantern and walking at night, and that's what Bright Heart speaks to me of as well. It can act as a light for anyone with him. So as the Hermit, you act as a light for others because you've shone the light into your own darkness. So I am getting some level of like shadow work here, but in a very nurturing and gentle way, because we do have the nurture card as well. That's what helps you to take charge and kind of part the seas, like the emotional seas or the subconscious mind. You're able to part it and find a path through because you have a bright idea where there was an obstacle, you find a solution. So your Lightworker qualities are very much focused on introspection and solution finding to solve problems for yourself and others in a very loving, nurturing, compassionate way. I see you being very heart-centered. Obviously, empathy is one of the core qualities of many Lightworkers, if not like a prerequisite to being a Lightworker in the first place. We have to have empathy and compassion and love for humanity to want to serve it in the first place. So that's kind of what I see as well. And even the name Care Bears denotes the fact that they inherently care. They care, they are empathic, they are compassionate, and that's why they seek to serve. So I see you being very much about love and coming from a lineage of love as well. So you might come from a family who was also a light worker, or you might come from a lineage of soul family, star family even, who are also light workers or who have been light workers in the past. So if your physical family in this life was not light workers, as a lot of the time is actually not the case. Sometimes we come into families that are very chaotic, dysfunctional, or have a lot of lower vibrational negative people. And the purpose of that is to break cycles, to break generational curses or karma, and to free the lineage most times, or to understand the darkness so that we can transmute it for others going forward later in life. Now, I do see that because you are so caring, because you are a light worker and your path is really about serving others, it is also important for you to make sure that you're nurturing and caring for yourself. I see that you're highly, highly sensitive to energy, group number 1. And so you need to pull back a lot of the time. And that's why your hermit phases are really important. Yes, you're here to serve the collective. Yes, you're here to be in service to others in some way, but not to the detriment of yourself. I had to learn this one the hard way because I am also in that hermit energy. So you have to pull back and reward yourself. You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. So it's making time for yourself. It's making time to make sure that you're caring and nurturing yourself, not just giving to others endlessly and then depleting yourself, because that is not going to serve your overall light working. That is not going to serve you in being the change that you want to see in the world. Like, you have to treat yourself the way that you're treating others as well, in a very loving, nurturing, caring, gentle way. So let's grab some clarifiers from the Rainbow Tarot. So for group number 1, Lightworker number 1, I did see this one underneath here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. You have the 8 of Wands, and it did come up reversed. No, they're telling me to take it upright. I think the rest of the cards are going to be reversed as well. I may have grabbed the deck upside down. Let's just find out. Yeah, they're saying turn them all around. Okay, so you have the Strength card, the 2 of Pentacles. Look at that rainbow in the clouds. You have the Knight of Pentacles as well, and the 8 of Cups. Okay. Yeah, so I see that you've kind of had to walk away from some societal standards that didn't really work for you to be able to do this gift, and you've had to like plan out a way to do this, to find a solution. You've had to do this with a lot of strength. So some of you, if you have stepped into your light working abilities and you've been working with others consciously, intentionally, and as a service, either for money or not for money, depending on your situation, I do see that it has taken a lot of strength for you to get to this point. You've had to make some serious changes. You've had to, I do see the 2 Pentacles cards here very much talking about like you've had to kind of find a way to plan to make sure that your financial needs are met so that you don't become like the starving artist or put yourself into depletion and then end up worse off and not able to help people. So it is important that light workers are paid for their abilities. They're calling me to say that to you right now. So if you haven't stepped into your light worker service, or you're not charging for your services, or you're charging too little, they're saying that it's really important to make sure that the balance of energy is fairly equal. And it's kind of hard to quantify that because when we're giving energy, love, healing, and service to others in that very intangible way, how do we quantify that? But what they're telling you here is actually something that I had to learn the hard way for myself, and they're wanting me to share it with you, was that I was not charging enough for my services. And to me, I felt like I was charging a lot because it was like $100 or $200 or even $300 for a session. But they told me it wasn't enough because I kept either breaking even at the end of the month or being in debt. Like my expenses were higher than what I was bringing in, and I was having to take on more clients and put out more energy to be able to just break even, just to be able to like eat and keep a roof over my head. And I was going into energetic and physical monetary depletion. And they were saying, you can't do that. That's not serving the whole, because if you're in lack, then that's what you're emitting, and that's what you're transmitting to the collective. That's what you're embodying. That does not serve. It does not serve, group number 1. So they're being very clear with you here that it's important for you to find the inner strength to get out of any lack mentality, or to clear any obstacles in regard to your worthiness, your sense of self-worth, and your ability to receive. Because you might have a hard time receiving, you might have a hard time asking for help, you might have a hard time charging what you're worth, and they are encouraging you to do that, and to walk away from any situations or lines of work, or whatever it happens to be that's not recognizing your worth or putting you in a state of perpetual bliss and over energized and over flowing with abundance. Like, if you're not overflowing, then something's wrong. And like I said, I had to learn that the hard way, which is why I've pulled back my services and I'm just focusing on collective work here on YouTube. So there's an eyelash that must have fallen off from me, and it fell on Reward Yourself, and then it fell on the Knight of Pentacles as well. So I always think of eyelashes like when I was a little kid. If an eyelash fell onto your cheek, you had to like pick it up and blow it off and make a wish. And so I'm seeing you like rewarding yourself by making a wish of something. If you wish for more money, then you can manifest that, and you deserve that, because it's going to help you to embody abundance and overflowing for other people. So the more that you succeed, the more that you serve the collective, the more that you serve the people that you're here to help. So you have to be the embodiment of that, and to let yourself fly free, to have the strength to let go and to trust, while at the same time focusing on the practical matters of life and making sure that your needs are being met, so that you can serve and meet the needs of others. You're here for a much larger purpose, group number 1, and so it is important that you see the value in what you're here to do and the change that you are making for others. You help to enlighten others, you help to bring them awareness that they would have not had, or they would not have had without you. So it's not like you're the be-all end-all, but it's very valuable, it's very important, and it is deserving of being compensated financially, energetically, emotionally, or physically. Whatever it is that you're needing most, that is what needs to be equally exchanged for what it is that you're giving. So giving and receiving needs to be reciprocal here. Spirit's very, very clear about that. Very strict about that even. So basically, nurture yourself, shine the light for yourself, make sure that what you are giving and what you are receiving are equal, fair, and balanced, and then when you feel called, you come out of your hermit phase and you communicate. And maybe you can even stay in hermit phase and communicate, because in this day and age, with technology being what it is, we can stay alone in our home and still serve the world, which is really great, because as a fellow hermit, this is fantastic. I can sit in my home all day and go walk in nature and then just make these videos and talk to people on Zoom, and that's my service work. And so that's kind of what I see here for you as well. Group number 1 is you're meant to be living some kind of a life that resembles that, but make sure that it resonates to you and that it feels authentic, aligned, and empowering, so that it does give you that sense of overflow of abundance. All right, so that is what I see for you, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here, not just in this reading, but also here on Earth. I know how hard it is to incarnate here and to be a light worker and to be in service, so I commend you for your bravery, your courage, and your kindness. Keep shining your light. Love you. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Funshine Bear, then this is going to be your reading. So we have some oracle cards here, and a couple of tarot cards from the Rainbow Tarot have already come out for you. As I was pre-shuffling, they popped over and Spirit told me that they're meant for you. So I was going to put them back in, and they told me to keep them out and put them on the table. We're going to pull some more if we need them. But let's take a look at what you have here. Oh, before we jump into it, I want to mention what Funshine Bear's properties are. Properties, like it's a thing. Qualities or personality or abilities. Okay, so Funshine Bear is always looking on the sunny side of life, very happy, very perky, ready to rise with each day. They are equally ready and willing to help others, bear or child alike. So they're just very giving, very optimistic. And they can help by lighting up the darkest night or shining a beacon for all to see. Their belly badge gives them the power to create tangible sunbeams, which can be used to help them solve any problem they may be facing, although this method is generally only used as a last resort. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle cards. You have the ocean. The deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about desirable effects. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. I love that you got Funshine, or you chose Funshine Bear, and then you have the ocean here, because Funshine Bear has like sunglasses on in most cases, or at least the original one, his son had sunglasses on, and it's like the sun at the beach on a beautiful day, and it's just like, oh, I love it. Okay, so Landa, the goddess of never not broken, everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. And I had to block this out because her boobies been flying free. Okay, you have life review, Archangel Jeremiah. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. You also have listen, Manjushri. And you have the scribe, preserving knowledge and information. And we're not going to focus on the negative or the shadow attribute of it because this is a light worker. Not that we don't focus on shadow. A lot of our light worker stuff is to do with addressing the shadow. But in this reading, we're just focusing on the light qualities. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards that came out. You have Temperance. It's all about balance. And you have Justice. Oh my God, there's literally all about balance. Okay, so it is about balance. So the shadow attribute, because they're all calling me actually to read the shadow attribute of scribe, is altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. So it is about balancing out some things here. So Lightworker number 2, what I'm seeing here is that you are able to bring through information in a very balanced way. You might listen, you might then speak, you might channel and receive and then write. Scribe is very much about communication in the throat chakra. So you might be somebody who channels information or who does life reviews for yourself and others. So essentially what that means is that you would go through kind of like the Akashic record of this person that you're serving, and you would help them to see all of the kind of things that were aligned or were not aligned, and you can help them to clear karma. So that's actually what I used to do. And I say used to because Spirit had me step back from that to focus on YouTube. But they're telling me here that your Lightworker gift is really very much about creating balance through moderation and helping other people to do the same thing. It's like you're able to soothe other people by dipping into the healing waters of the Akashic field and drawing back out anything that's imbalanced within the soul blueprint, within the Akashic field, maybe even within the energy body. And you do it in a way that's very, very much to do with either speaking or writing, and definitely channeling has something to do with it as well. I do see that you've had to kind of face your darkness, because they did have, like in this reading, I was not going to focus at all on the shadow attributes, but they're bringing this up a lot, and they're even showing me here in Akilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. So it's like you may have felt like you were broken. This is giving me like the archetype of the wounded healer, and yet you always come out looking at the silver lining or finding the positive in it. That's, Funshine Bear qualities, right? You're able to shine a light into the darkness and to heal and to repair and to find balance, and you're able to like really equalize things. You're like the equalizer at soul level. Like that's your Lightworker gift for sure. And if you don't know how to read the Akashic record yet or to work with energy, I will be creating an energy healing course if you guys are interested in learning, but and a shadow work course. But I also wanted to mention that the modality that I trained and studied in for Akashic reading, and that called to me at soul level, was soul realignment. And I do have the links. They are affiliate links, and I do get a small commission if you guys choose to look at those. But that would help me out. So that's a great way to support the channel. Thank you. And they're in the description box below if you guys are interested in learning from Andrea, who teaches soul realignment and who created created the modality, then you can check that out. I used it for several years with clients, and it was highly transformational. I also did readings very regularly for myself because, yes, I had a lot of karma to clear from past lives, choices that I made, but which were disempowering to me. So anyway, I see you're very able to listen. You might have a lot of clairaudience. So that's the psychic ability of listening and hearing. So you might hear spoken words in your mind from your spirit guides, your higher self, passed on loved ones, or other spirits in the astral or etheric realms or something like that. It's like you're able to receive information auditorily. You may also do something called auto writing, or you may have a natural gift for auto writing, even if you haven't developed it yet. So this is where you either like type without kind of paying attention to what you're typing, or you write without really thinking, and then what comes out is often channeled from spirit, and it can give you a lot of insight. It can shine light on things that you didn't have necessarily an awareness of. So that can be really useful as well. The ocean has something to do with your healing here as well. You might just be doing a lot of emotional healing in this lifetime and helping other people to do that as well. Again, through listening, through writing, through reviewing, and creating balance through moderation. But it does have a very sort of like it's very left-brained in the sense that I just get the sense that there's a lot of almost like logistics, like because what they're showing me in my mind's eye is like a cleric sitting behind a desk and like writing out in the files. It's very sort of linear in that sense, but then it's also very Venusian, which is like right brain. It's very creative, it's very intuitive, and it's very compassionate and nurturing. So again, you have like this beautiful balance between these two sides, not just the hemispheres of the brain, but also like the polarities of masculine and feminine within you. So you do create a lot of balance for others because that's what you're embodying. Okay, let's get a couple more cards from the Rainbow Tarot. So for group number 2, I did ask for a couple more, and then they gave me these 2. So, they're drawing my attention to, on the back of the card, this little cloud that is winking and crying. Yeah, so it feels like you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot of pain in this incarnation, group number 2, but you've found a way to like make goodness come out of that pain. You, definitely alchemized, balanced it out. And it's helping to kind of spur you on to your Lightworker abilities. Oh, oops. That's so funny. This is Temperance. This is the Empress. So the reason I read this as the Empress is because I wasn't really looking at the picture. I was looking at the word. And for whatever reason, my brain turned Limperatrice to Temperance. Yeah, sometimes my brain goes too fast and it just like makes kind of quick little decisions that are not always accurate. That's ADHD for you. And then you also have the Hanged Man. And they're telling me to take these upright, so I will. So Temperance and the Hanged Man here, as well as Justice and the Empress. Okay, there we go. It was the same message that I was getting, and they wanted to show that because they're like, yes, you were right. Temperance was meant to be there. That's why we had to pull more, and here she is. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so there's been some periods in your life where you've had to go through some pretty tough situations where you felt really bound up, constricted, or you felt like you just had to face a lot of challenges or a lot of fears or a lot of trauma even. But you found a way to heal yourself out of that. You found a way to create something positive from that. Yeah, you're like a light warrior, group number 2. And your greatest gift in this war is your optimism. Sunshine Bear is also a Sagittarius, I'm pretty sure. So it's like all about optimism and belief. Yeah, Sunshine Bear, or Funshine Bear, I should say, is, Sagittarius. So you might have some of those qualities as well. But, very balanced. You're able to hold really nice divine space for others because you've been through the worst that this life has to offer, is what they're saying. Oof. but karma will always balance out. And for those with a pure heart who seek to serve and who are willing to face their fears and their shadows and their darkness and take responsibility for it, you will always be rewarded in kind. So you will be given the healing you need, you will be given the resources you need, you will be given the grace to manifest and create the life that better serves you and that helps to empower and assist others in rising as well, is what they're saying too. So this is really beautiful. That's what I see for you, group number 2. Thank you so much for being here, not just in this reading, but also here on Earth, because I know how hard it is as a highly sensitive, high vibrational soul to incarnate into this dense realm. I know it's very challenging. It can be very painful. So thank you so much for being here and for serving in this way. Make sure that you take care of yourself, love yourself, and shine your light for you and others as well. I am sending you so much love and blessings of protection and balance. All right, guys, thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Share Bear and this deck, or this pile, I should say, then this is going to be your Lightworker gifts reading. So let's take a look at your cards, and then we'll talk about the Care Bear that you've chosen. So you have ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. Find the blessings in your current situation, Krishna. Queen. The light attributes are radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. We're not going to read the shadow attributes right now because it's a light worker reading. Not that shadow work isn't part of light work, it definitely is, but we're just focusing on the light qualities for this particular reading. You have Sarada Devi, the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. And you did have 2 of these goddess cards come out for you, as I had only picked 1 for every other deck, or for every other group. But when I was shuffling, these ones fell actually out onto the ground, and they told me that it was for your group. And they said, yes, take both. So I was like, okay. Diana, Queen of the Wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. I'm feeling focused on these 2 mother qualities, the Divine Mother, mother tongue. Okay. And you have creative writing, Archangel Gabriel. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen, an article, or book. Okay. Oops. All right, so group number 3. The first thing that I want to talk about is your Care Bear. So you chose Share Bear. So the personality of Share Bear is caring through sharing, obviously. Her best quality is like sharing is caring. So this is a very selfless energy. Share Bear would gladly give up her last possession to make someone else happy, even if she couldn't magically duplicate it. But sharing objects is only half of her character, and she's also willing to share fun, laughs, like whatever she has, really. Her personality is very fitting to her horoscope sign, which is Virgo. And her belly badge gives her the power to create tangible lollipops, which can be used to help her solve any problems she may be facing, although this method is generally used as a last resort. Her belly badge also has the power to duplicate and divide items. Okay, so she's able to duplicate things so that she can share more with others. She's able to create more so that she can share. But even if she wasn't able to create more, like they said, in her personality, she's still willing to share. So she's very, very, very giving. So I see that with ask here, people ask you for things a lot and you're like, yes. And as this mother energy is here very present in your reading, it's like you want to mother others, you want to give to them, you want to provide for their needs, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual. It's like you're here to bless others in a pretty major way. I do see the queen energy here is like, yeah, the regal feminine is again making me think of the Divine Mother. It's like the queen of a kingdom. You're there to make sure that the kingdom does well, that all of the subjects have enough food to eat, they all have shelter. So it's very, very Divine Mother energy, whether you're male or female. And that divine feminine energy is what helps you to create blessings and to share those blessings with the world. I do see that creative writing might be part of this in some way. So maybe part of your sharing is going to be sharing your imagination or your creative writing or your creative work. Something to do with Yeah, it might even be like I'm getting the message of teaching other people to care for themselves. So the best embodiment of a mother is not somebody who simply cares for their children. It's actually somebody who teaches their children to care for themselves. Because if you're always just caring for, then you're not really teaching your subjects or your children or your clients or whoever it happens to be, your friends, your family who you're doing this light work for. You're not really actually serving them if you're keeping them dependent on you for care or to have their needs met. So it is really important to be in the balanced energy of this light worker gift, which is to teach others how to care for themselves in a loving, nurturing way. So it's like you teach them to reparent themselves. Maybe you'll be writing a book about reparenting and how to mother and nurture yourself and to nourish yourself back to health again. I am getting a message of like physical and like food. So and they're also jogging my memory and reminding me that Cher Bear has lollipops, and it's like about replicating lollipops. So I feel like there's something to do with food here. You might be into nutrition. Maybe the book you'll be writing about helping people care for themselves is to do with like food and eating and nourishment. That's just the feeling I'm getting from it. It doesn't have to be literal, but I do get this feeling of like nourishment being very important and teaching other people to nourish themselves well, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever it happens to be. I feel like people ask you a lot of questions too, and you're always there with an answer. You're always there trying to find a solution to their current situation. People might come to you being like, this is my symptom, or this is my experience, or this is my problem, and you're like, okay, let's sit down and we'll talk about it and we'll figure this out together. That's the kind of, I get a very grounded energy from you, and they're reminding me that Cher Bear is Virgo, so yeah, it's very grounded, and Virgo is to do with health. They're reminding me as well, I forgot. Virgo is to do with health, cleanliness, nutrition, organization. It's very grounded, very practical, and very hands-on type of service or healing. It's like getting into the things that are not working and finding ways to make them work better. It's very, very much about the function of everything. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. So I feel like you might work with herbs or flower essences or like essential oils. You might provide healing to others through your knowledge of the natural world, like through plants, vegetables. Yeah, nutrition keeps coming up for me. I'm seeing like a cookbook or like a book about healing through nutrition. Yeah, and they're showing me like the opposite of Marie Antoinette being like, let them eat cake. It's like you're actually going out there and you're like making a cake that's like the most healthy, life revitalizing cake that ever existed, and you're like handing it out one by one to everyone. It's like the complete opposite of that. Her queen, Marie Antoinette's queen. I don't even know if she was actually like that, but like that's the pop culture on it. Like that's the general consensus or the stereotype, right? But I can just see you being, again, like very sharing, very compassionate, very giving, wanting to give more. So let's get some tarot cards and see some additional information for group number 3 on their Lightworker abilities. Yeah, you're very grounded, group number 3. You're able to, yeah, this one as well, okay. Yeah, you're able to do a lot of like very hands-on or physical level healing, whether it's through the knowledge you're sharing or whether it's through like what you're able to give. Maybe you're a doctor. Some of you might be like a holistic health practitioner or even like an allopathic doctor or something like that, but you might just use more of your intuition and your knowledge of like nutrition to help people. You might be like a nutritionist or something like that. You might be, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you do. You have the King of Cups, and they are telling me to take it upright. King of Cups, 8 of Cups. Yeah, we're just going to take these all upright, they're saying. The Moon, very emotional, very emotional. Wow, okay. The 4 of Swords. Okay, like a lot of energy here is to do with emotional healing. Oh, you might also receive information through your dreams. I just got that message as well. You might receive information through meditation, through dreams, through like medicine journeys. Again, the plant medicine might be part of that, I'm not sure. And the Knight of Swords, and you communicate information. So it's like you go into the higher realms and then you bring back information. So you're definitely a channel, and you're connected with the Divine Mother, if not an embodiment of the Divine Mother. Yeah, and you're meant to help to heal others. And it feels like physical healing, even though the King of Cups is here, but it's like emotional healing through the physical. So it might be like where food meets emotions, like maybe compulsive eating or eating addictions or something like that is an area of expertise for you, or something that you're drawn to. It's like the psychology of food, or the psychology of medicine, or the psychology of plants, and how we can interact with plants at that level of consciousness to provide healing for the body. It could be emotional nurturing as well, emotional healing, helping people to get closer to their body, getting people closer to their subconscious mind, maybe teaching people how to meditate, or teaching people how to interpret their dreams, or to connect to the divine in some way, teaching people how to mind, body, and spirit. Yeah, it's like all of them. You're like teaching people or helping people to combine all of those and integrate them with one another, so that there's like a more holistic level of embodied healing. Yeah, so it feels very much like a holistic practitioner of some kind. And a lot of it is to do with communication and writing. Or it will be. If you haven't done that yet, it will be. Yeah, you're very non-judgmental. You're very accepting, very open. You have a big, big heart. I mean, that's one of the sort of prerequisites for being a light worker, is that we have to be empathic. We have to have a very open heart chakra, because that's what allows us to reunite with the collective fifth dimensional consciousness, which is that we're all one, and then seek to serve, because that's what service to others is all about. It's realizing that we're all one, and so we want to serve others because it means we're serving ourselves, because we're all the part of the whole. I would say write down your dreams, group number 3. You might channel information right when you wake up in the morning. You might have some information come through in regard to this book, or this communication, or this project, or you might receive information for a client, or for a friend, or for a family member, or even just for yourself in regard to how to heal your body, or how to heal your emotional self. So ask before you go to bed. Set the intention, and then, when you wake up in the morning, write it down right away. Just kind of like free flow writing, see what comes up. Very interesting. Or maybe just meditate and then see what comes up there. And again, just write it down. Make sure that you're journaling, or you have a dream journal, or you like free write or auto write, or whatever it is. Group number 2 had some of that as well. So yeah, like clairaudience came out for them. So very sort of similar, but completely different kind of expressions of how that is being used. So that's what I see for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for being here, both in the reading and also on Earth, sharing your light and being in service. It is very challenging sometimes, and I commend you for the courage and the bravery to be here and shine your light. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you in the next reading.